What's going on, YouTube? It's Kendall, and today I want to talk to you guys about the importance of being humble, but also staying hungry, right? And a lot of people think that being humble doesn't really do nothing for them, but there'll be one time in your life, there'll be a couple times in your life where eventually you're gonna get humble. If by some way, shape or form, life is gonna humble you. Life has a very funny way of humbling you, and I'm not gonna lie. I had a little bit of a humbling experience lately. A couple humbling experiences. Now I've never been the person that to think that like, I know everything and all that other stuff, but sometimes your pride can get a little bit too high on some things. And like like my grandma used to say, and like my mom always I have always drilled into my head, pride always comes before fall, right? So and the thing about pride, what makes it such what like the worst sin is that it literally sneaks up on you and you will see no wrong in what you're doing, right? So sometimes some of us we can get so damn prideful that we see no wrong in what we're doing. And I'm not gonna lie, like you don't even really notice it for real. Like your whole tone changes and the way that you act, the energy that people feel around you, it all changes, right? So, um, it's important to be humble, and a lot of people don't really understand what being humble really means. Some people have said that being humble gets them nowhere, and they got disrespected and ran over, and that's not what being humble means. I'm not saying to have an ego death. A lot of people have something called an ego death, and I don't believe in it. I'm gonna tell you why. But maybe after that terrible experience or that humbling experience or whatever, you may have called it an ego death. And what the thing is that you need part of your ego. I'm not saying what look, you need part of your ego, but you gotta learn how to control that ego, bro. I'm telling you, once that ego get out of control, it starts turning into pride. And I'm telling you, you're gonna have a dangerous fall once you start to get prideful on some things. And your your ego is gonna keep you from getting ran over, right? So being humble doesn't mean to accept nonsense from people, to get ran over and stepped over and all that stuff. No, you need your ego because that's gonna keep you from getting thrown around, right? And getting ran over. Sometimes you gotta show people and literally pin people on the wall. Not literally, but you gotta pin people on the wall just to show some people that you don't go for no bullshit, right? So, anyways, though, what being humble means is to always be basically being a student of the game, right? So what does the student of the game do? Or what does the student of the game think, right? So the student of the game is always going to think that they don't know everything. They're always going to have the mentality that they don't know everything, and by you acknowledging that, right, you are going to be naturally humble, right? Because in truth, you don't know everything. And when you think you know everything, I promise you, there's going to be somebody or some experience that's going to humble you in the and like I said, life has a very funny way of humbling you, and it may not feel so good at first, but when you get your clarity back and when you get over, whatever experience you had, it's actually hilarious, right? So always be able to student of the game, learn from your losses because it's always something to learn from somebody, or it's always something to learn from everything, everyone, bro. And that's what I'm saying. Like any bad experience that I've ever had with people, even the relationships that didn't even work out with women and all that other stuff, bro. Um, I've learned from every single one of them. I took all my losses on the chin, bro, and all my losses, bro. Hey, what they say, two L's make always make a W. So as long as you learn from your losses, you don't repeat the same mistakes, right? So just learn. You got not only do you have to learn from your losses, but you also got to integrate what you learn. Because the lesson will repeat itself until you learn it. That's the way the world works. It's gonna keep on seeing you gonna keep on running into that brick wall until you finally learn. That's what I'm saying. When you gonna learn? When are you gonna learn? So always be a student of the game. And another thing is to stay hungry, right? So have some ambition, try new things. Look, you always see me trying new things. Look, I started my YouTube channel, bro. I'm always trying something new, and that's the thing. It's like I know I'm gonna be a successful person because I don't really care. I don't care what anybody has to think. Now, of course, I gotta watch what I say on here, but I really don't care who thinks bad about me, I just don't care. I'm doing what I want to do. So a lot of people get caught up in other people's opinions and stuff. And I'm not saying to just completely ignore other people's opinions. I'm not saying to be prideful, but if you're doing something you really want to do and you get hate for it, freak them people. If you're doing what you like to do what you want to do. I don't really care what other people think about me for real. Now, I may take some advice from some people because I look, look, I'm gonna give you an example of this. So one of my earlier YouTube videos, I actually took it down, but one of my earlier YouTube videos, I was using some vernacular language, right? And there's this guy that commented a long paragraph on my video saying that, I should probably watch what I say on the internet and watch my language. And he was kind of right. I had to sit there and think about it. Like, dang, what if people that I work with watch this video? What if my family watches my video? They wouldn't be really proud of that. So it's okay to take in some things of what people are trying to tell you, but also don't really don't take it with a grain of salt, right? So if you're doing something you want to do and you're getting hate for it, freak them people, bro. Do what you want to do. But stay hungry, have some ambition, try new things, but also stay humble because you really do you and all in all, you do not know everything. I do not know everything. I'm just sharing stuff of what I've learned over the years, and some experiences that, shaped me. I'm sharing it to YouTube and documenting my journey, right? So that's what I'm saying. Always stay hungry, have some goals, have a purpose in life, and stay humble. Because I promise you, like if you learn how to be a student in the game and learn from every loss, learn from every experience, learn from every person, you will be going far in life. So that's the YouTube video today. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm out.